Hey, welcome back, everybody. It is Matthew, and we are returning to the My Favorite Tag Team Tournament. We are finally starting round 2 of the tournament as we head back to the Group A here in round 2 with the LJNs. So just to recap the winners from round 1. So in round 1, Mega Maniacs defeated Legion of Doom. The Four Horsemen tag team of Sid and Barry defeated the Custom Heart Foundation with the Blue Hearts. The Blue Heart tag team with the black stripe down the middle. The British Bulldogs Customs from Robert Jackson defeated the Doom from Random Treasures. And then the random Brett and Jim tag team defeated Strike Force. That was the custom from Robert Jackson. The Killer Bees defeated the original Heart Foundation. Mega Powers defeated the Bushwhackers. The Random Treasures version of Legion of Doom defeated Strike Force original. The Steiner Brothers defeated Powers of Pain, the customs. Demolition from Random Treasures defeated the Ric Flair and Arn Anderson 2-up from Random Treasures. Rhythm and Blues defeated Dudes with Attitude, Random Treasure 2-ups. Hogan and Hillbilly defeated Money Incorporated. Powers of Pain defeated the British Bulldogs originals. The New Foundation defeated Sheik and Volkov. The Dream Team defeated the Wild Samoans. And the Twin Towers defeated the Brainbusters. Alright. So, winners, Mega Maniacs, Sid and Barry, British Bulldogs, Brett and Jim, Killer Bees, Mega Powers, Legion of Doom, Steiner Brothers, Demolition, Rhythm and Blues, Hogan and Hillbilly, Powers of Pain, New Foundation, Dream Team, Twin Towers. 15 tag teams. That means that we'll have 6 one-on-one matches for 12 teams, and then we'll have the 7th match will be a 3-team, one-on-one-on-one. So whoever the last 3 remaining, this is all gonna be random drawing. So we'll see whoever the unlucky force is. The first tag team is going to be the Random Treasures Powers of Pain, as they square off against the Mega Powers. The next tag team is going to feature the Sid and Barry Four Horsemen duo, as they square off against the Steiner Brothers. Next matchup is going to feature the Mega Maniacs as they square off against the Twin Towers. And the fourth matchup and final matchup for this video is going to feature the New Foundation as they square off against the Killer Bees. Alright, so I'm going to pause here, pull the figures, and we will be beginning in just a moment. Alright, everybody, I do have the figures pulled. First one is going to be Mega Powers as they square off against the Powers of Pain. Now, 2 dynamic powered duos squaring off. See, something like this right here should be like a final matchup. But seeing a tag team like this go off against each other in the second round, this is tough. Because based on pose alone, that tells me that Powers of Pain would absolutely butcher the Mega Powers. But based on nostalgia, based on childhood, man, to be, really based on who these people are and what they meant to me as a kid, meant to me as a fan of wrestling growing up. You're talking about my number one and number three all-time favorite wrestlers. In my opinion, the two guys put together that created the most dynamic force as a pairing in wrestling history. If they could actually get their crap together and actually work in tandem, like the Rockers once did, like Legion of Doom, could always do. These guys were legitimate, not just tag team champions, but guys that would hold the titles forever type of deal. I mean, in all honesty, who could legitimately defeat Hogan or Macho Man at any point in their careers? And I'm not talking about Yokozuna, setting off fire in this man Hogan's face and then dropping a leg on him and pinning him type of deal. No, I'm talking about in an honest 1-to-1 matchup. See, here is the tough part. Yes, it is about my favorite tag team. But I've said it many a time. It's not just about my favorite tag teams, my favorite characters that make up that tag team. It is still a figure competition, and it's as much about the figures as it is about the actual competitors. I know so much. I have so much history with Macho Man and Hogan. I remember a lot about the Warlord. I remember some about Barbarian, not a lot, but just enough, I guess. But these figures are so superior as far as playability and pose, and just the overall look is just so incredible. And me being pose obsessed, these are two guys that you would think would never or couldn't possibly be eliminated so early. They can't. I mean, to me, Barry Windham and Sid Vicious going against these two are, to me, a legitimate two tag team finalists. That's the tag team I want to see at the end because it's the two tag teams that have the most perfect poses. Makes the most sense. Yeah. I'm not going to do it, though. There is no doubt that this is a fantastic tag team, and I think Warlord and Barbarian are one of those thug-like powerhouses. Kind of like, not thug, that's not the word I want to use. Enforcer type wrestlers. And there's someone that I would love to, again, I know a little bit about them as a tag team, and I used to love watching them go at it and whatnot, powerful guys. Again, Warlord, I'm more familiar with him because of, Hasbro and any of those guys that came out and that were still going in the 90s. I don't remember Barbarian being out there in the, early mid-90s. I remember Warlord with the little metal mask more than this look, but I still feel synonymous with this guy because I still remember Warlord coming into a Royal Rumble, Hulk Hogan coming in, immediately clotheslining him over the ropes. I mean, that's embarrassing. I mean, you're Warlord, you're a top-notch athlete, and you get eliminated by Hulk Hogan within like a half a second. What was that, the 89 Royal Rumble, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, I think that was 89. And I think that was the same Royal Rumble where Hulk Hogan threw Macho Man and somebody else over the ropes. And like they were going at it because Macho Man's ticked off that he got thrown up by Hogan. Hey man, it was an accident. No, it wasn't. Hogan may want to throw the other guy out, but you know what? If you happen to go over the rope and touch the floor at the same time, hey, so be it. That's one less guy you had to worry about. It was nice that Big John Studd won that Rumble, though. Yeah, Mega Powers. I just can't see them. I just can't see them go this early. Are they going to win this tournament? It's going to hurt me to eliminate them. So, pose-wise tells me no. But nostalgia and everything else says yes. So, can I really make that assessment right now? No, I can't. All I can say is I've made some really surprising decisions in past tournaments. Things I never would have made before, or I never would have suspected I would have made. So, I would say the chances of them winning the tournament are 50-50. And considering that there are 4 different toy lines in this tournament, and considering how many different competitors are in this tournament, to give them 50% chance of winning is insurmountable. So, you might as well give them 100% odds at that point. But, yeah, that is matchup number 1. We are going to follow it up with the Sid and Barry tandem going against the Steiner brothers. The Galoob 2-ups from Random Treasures. Going against the Steiners. So this one is a relatively simple choice for me. I think pretty much any time you have a matchup that's going to feature a Sid Vicious figure, a Sid Vicious Galoob figure that I grew up, figure that I grew up playing with, that I had the most fun with than any other action figure, it's going to be a difficult choice to pass on. And even though I've only been aware of the Barry Windham figure for last couple of years, it is just as good, if not better. I don't want to say better, but just as good as the Sid Vicious figure. And like I said, these two figures together complement each other so beautifully. And as much as I, covet having the Steiner brothers as LJN, and it was really important for me to get these figures together, I don't know. I just, they're great figures. They really are. They're just not the most elite figures of the collection. And you still got the Steiners as Galoob in the tournament. And I think the Galoob Steiners, which I have history with, would much rather have a better opportunity of winning this tournament than LJN Customs. So, with that being said, would that potentially eliminate the LJN Barry and Sid from this tournament in the future? That's something to think about as well. They really are good looking figures, though. The one downside about these figures, and I mentioned it in the past, using Ted Arcidi and the Iron Sheik poses, I would have chosen something far different. Neither pose to me is acceptable poses, especially the Iron Sheik, which is terrible. But everything else that the customizer did on these figures was absolutely incredible. Yeah, but the Steiner brothers, they're not going to win this tournament. I'm sorry. They had the opportunity to make it to round 3. There's no doubt. There's probably a couple of tag teams. Maybe in this particular video that they square off against someone else, they maybe could have won. But going against Sid and Barry, there was just no opportunity. Not even close. Again, to me, legitimate contenders for the final seed. Are they going to win the whole tournament? That's anyone's guess, but I think they're very strong competitors for the final spot. Final 3 spots, final 4 spots. Where they end up, I don't know. We will find out. Alright, next one is going to feature the Twin Towers going against the Mega Maniacs. So Twin Towers and the Mega Maniacs. All 4 are incredible pieces. Here's a tough choice here. I've talked about Big Boss Man being one of my all-time favorite figures. Big Boss Man on card, the most perfect LJN figure ever. Big Boss Man loose. I have Big Boss Man loose as my number 6 favorite LJN figure. Does that necessarily help put the Twin Towers over the top? Well, the Series 1 Hulk Hogan, I have Series 1 Hulk Hogan as like my number 2 all-time favorite LJN. So, does that necessarily mean that he's a better figure than the Boss Man? Not necessarily. I love the fact that the Series 2 Hogan has perhaps the best fighting pose among the entire LJN line. What Eric did with this particular figure, as far as turning it into the, the Series 3 original San Francisco Toymaker. And I've talked about it many times when I bring this figure up. You know, I just thought he was just simply gonna get some paint over the body, but no, he went above and beyond and built on clothing for this figure, built on the bandana, the shirt, pants, built on an overboot and everything. He went above and beyond. Absolutely amazing. I love the work he did on this figure. The little Hogan decal, incredible work. I thought that this figure blended in so beautifully with this particular Brutus Beefcake figure. I just thought that the color scheme on both these figures worked well to make a perfect Mega Maniac tag team. I'm not the biggest Brutus Beefcake LJN fan, but I love the color scheme of this figure. And I don't know. I love Big Boss Man. And I know a lot more about Brutus and Hogan, obviously, than I would about One Man Gang / Akeem. So, with Akeem and Boss Man, obviously we have to substitute One Man Gang for Akeem. At least Brutus Beefcake is a much more playable figure. Would give you a lot more enjoyment out of it. Although the size and girth of the figure is what I really covet, especially as a carded figure. I don't know, man. I knew this was going to be tough. I just didn't realize how tough. One of the toughest things about this tournament, and I said is one of my last Hogan videos, was what happens if I end up with if my finals is not a final 2 but a final 3. And you end up with 3 different tag teams of Hulk Hogan. So if this Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake figure, wins this matchup, and they keep winning, and they're part of the final 3, and they're all Hulk Hogan tag teams. You want some kind of separation to make it, a little bit more fun. Have something but you don't want to eliminate a Hogan tag team just because it's Hogan, and you already have another Hogan that push forward. That's stupid, but I kind of feel like very rarely in my tournaments does Big Boss Man get a fair push. My first tournament, my very first, my favorite LJN tournament. I think I eliminated him in like the second round. And at least in the second LJN tournament, he made it to the finals, which was great because I resituated the way the figures were displayed. But it would suck to see him eliminated in another tournament in the second round all over again, and not get a fair push, because this is such an awesome figure. Ooh. What do you think, guys? If it was like Hogan and Bossman, that'd be perfect. Cause I love Hogan and Bossman together. Shoot, Hogan and Bossman together would win this tournament, no, hands down. I am gonna go with the Mega Maniacs. I just busted out the shears. The Mega Maniacs do defeat the Twin Towers. I like the figures a lot. It was really hard getting rid of One Man Gang / Hakeem, and especially the Big Boss Man figure. But man, that was tough. And this is why I wanted to get back to the LJNs. As much as I love Hasbro, I have the most fun. Even though it gives me such headaches to make a choice between these figures. I still get my most enjoyment from making these LJN videos, so I was really thrilled when I completed the other groups. I was able to return to this. Alright, the last matchup for this video is going to feature the new Foundation as they square off against the Killer Bees. The Killer Bees just kind of won the last matchup, won round one out of necessity, because they squared off against the original Heart Foundation, and I said in that video that if the original Heart Foundation ever squared off against the custom Heart Foundation that I had already pushed forward, they wouldn't have won. The customs would have defeated them, so it didn't make sense to push that Heart Foundation forward. So it would have been nice to give the Killer Bees an opportunity to push forward to a second round. And you know what? It's a good thing, because you know what? Based on who they're facing this round, they have a strong possibility that they might see a round 3. Is it guaranteed? No, it's not guaranteed. But the possibility is there, and that's all that matters. So for Mike Steyer, we got the new Foundation, which features Owen and Jim Neidhart. So Owen Hart, as I've said before, not my favorite custom. From the waist down, I like the Series 5, or excuse me, the Series 7 Hasbro Owen Hart version. It's a nice look, but once you get from the waist up, even if you keep the Macho Man body type, that is, you can live with that. What I talked about before, the head sculpt, and he's used Owen Hart, or used this head sculpt on different customs as well. I'm sorry, Mike, if you ever watched this video, buddy, but that is not Owen Hart's face, and this is just terrible. Again, he had it on his auction or on his site for $90. I actually offered him like 60 just for this because I wanted to offer more than half because I wanted this figure. Because I really like this. I think this is an awesome custom. I think he did amazing work on this figure. And I'm like, you know what? Just do the extra 30. Screw it. Just get both figures. You know, if it really sucks that much, maybe you could try to resell it. Maybe you could try and sell it for like $50 or something. And, you know, try and get some profit back or something. I don't know. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, I can't sell this for $50. I probably couldn't sell it for 20. Yeah, it's just not good. I really hate to hate on his work because, you know, I actually like his YouTube channel and everything, but I'm not a fan of this. And I think that Owen Hart is really going to hurt the new Hart Foundation chances of moving forward. If anything, Jim Neidhart is probably going to be the saving grace because I think using the Junkyard Dog pose is a really solid choice. If you look at the original Jim Neidhart, he's like super slim, and I don't like that. I think Junkyard Dog's body fits Jim Neidhart so much better because Jim Neidhart is very, I don't want to say chunky, but he's a lot heftier than they make him in the original LJN figures. So I like the fact that they made him, you know, thicker than, you know, just like he's supposed to be. But you're also going against two top 30 LJN figures. Both Jim Brunzell, you know, who's probably a top 25, and, you know, B. Brian Blair is probably a top 30 figure. So both are awesome pieces. Definitely a million times better than the Owen Hart figure. Are either one better than the Jim Neidhart? I don't think I would say that. I think the Jim Neidhart figure is easily better than either of these figures. Maybe even better than both of them. But even though I know more about Jim Neidhart, I grew up watching Jim Neidhart far more than the Killer Bees. And I know have more history than Jim Neidhart. Is that enough to push Jim Neidhart over the Bees tag team? No, it's not. The Killer Bees tag team, for me, they're an infamous tag team. Very popular. A tag team I'm very familiar with. The figures themselves are absolutely amazing. They're some of my more popular tag teams. And I'm glad I was able to push these forward because getting the opportunity to see these guys in round 3 and possibly even further, I'm happy to see these guys get a proper run. In fact, I think in the individual, my favorite LJN tournaments, I think these guys would normally gone in like the second round, so maybe third. I don't know. But, so, just getting the opportunity to see these guys push forward, I'm happy to see that. The Killer Bees do push on to round 3. And the new Hart Foundation is out after 2 rounds. I like this figure. I'd like to hold on to it. But anybody that watches this that might want this figure, I'm not a fan of it. So if anybody makes an offer on this, I'll probably sell it to you. I don't know how much to really... I don't even know how much to even put this on auction for. You would think because of custom, it has to have some value, but $20, $30, I don't even know. Well, I figured if I was going to offer $60 on this, I could say $30, but shoot. You know what? I might as well just keep it together for the tag team, but I want to display the things that I'm proud of, and I'm just not proud of this. Okay, it's okay. I'll be okay. I'll survive. Alright, that's it for this video, guys. I do have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do have 7 tag teams remaining, so I'll probably stay down here and make one more video. And so 7 tag teams. That means 2 one-on-one matches, and then 1 final matchup, which will be a one-on-one-on-one. And that'll complete the Group A Round 2 version. Yeah. So Round 2 will probably go by super fast. And once I get to Round 3, I'll probably shoot through that. I'll probably shoot through Round 3 and Round 4 in like a matter of like 2 videos. Because I'll probably end up putting all the groups in one at that point. But that's it for now. As always, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I will see you in the next video and talk to you in the comments. Bye, everyone.